Welcome back, Sip and Spill Squad. It is your girl Slick back with another video. However, this video is totally different from all of the other ones because this is my last and final video to end Sip and Spill with Slick. Yes, I am sad. However, closing one chapter means the opening of a new one. And in this video, I'm just going to explain a couple things about why I even started the podcast in the first place, what it means to me, and what this new chapter is going to be like. So let's get started. Sip and Spill with Slick was started back in, I think our first video that we put out was in August of 2019. So that was about like 2 years ago. Crazy to think that I've been doing this for 2 years now. I'm shocking myself even just thinking about it. But yes, 2 years now. And I believe the first video that the first episode that we talked about was about relationships. And every time I look back at any of the videos that I did, cringeworthy, definitely cringeworthy. I think it's cringeworthy to me because I get to see my growth. Even within 2 years, tremendous growth has happened between me and my co-hosts and even the individuals who came on my show as guests. So to see that, it's kind of cringeworthy to see how I used to talk back then, how I used to articulate myself. Carry myself, and then to just see how I am now, it's kind of cringeworthy, but that, like I said, is growth. Growth is uncomfortable, and to watch that is uncomfortable, so I get to see the amazing amount of growth that everybody else gets to see in myself. So yeah, and before we even put out the video in August, the first episode, I believe it took about 6 to 8 months for me to even plan, to organize, to think of what Sip and Spill was about to be, to come up with a name. I did not come up with the name by myself. One of my friends actually helped me. Shout out to Rayleigh. She helped me incorporate, I believe, the sip and spill part because I wanted to incorporate something that I could potentially drink in, because I knew the topics that I wanted to talk about or, have people engage in were going to be kind of serious topics. And I didn't know how to make myself, not other people, but myself comfortable enough to talk about the things that I actually wanted to talk about, So I wanted to incorporate some sort of drinking to make myself comfortable in explaining what I needed to explain or talk about, whatever the case may be. So that's where the sip and spill part came in, so we can have a little sip on a little something. It was supposed to be just wine. It was not supposed to be hard liquor. We got down on sip and spill with the liquor. But yeah, it was supposed to be just wine, sip on a little something to, ease us a little bit so we're not uptight while explaining these things. And I originally started because it was at that time of my life, I was at a really... dark space where a lot of things had happened to me and I just wasn't talking about them. And if you actually know me, and I'm not just talking about people who either watch the episodes or just see me online. If you actually know me, you know that sometimes I might have a hard time with explaining how I feel or explaining to people the emotions that are going or running through me. So I was dealing with a whole bunch of things all at once, massive things all at once. And I was not talking about none of it with anybody. Not my friends, not my family, not the people closest to me. Nobody was getting the inside of anything. And it came to a point where it all was just too much for me to experience by myself. And I wanted to let it all out, but I wanted to let it all out to kind of like strangers, because people, I guess, friends and family, you tell them what's wrong with you. Sometimes they'll keep, I don't want to say hounding you because that's a bad word, but they'll keep trying to check on you. How you straight? I didn't know that you was feeling like this, And I wanted to put it out to strangers because I could just leave it with them. Nobody's going to question me on how I felt or what I was going through or try to, go back to that. Let's talk about that for a second. No, I get to leave it where it's at with a whole bunch of strangers who probably just don't even care, but also strangers who probably has felt exactly how I felt at one point in their lives. So I wanted to be some sort of connection to where I could connect with a whole bunch of different people that I've never connected with before. So that was one of my main reasons of starting the show, was for me to get out all that I've been feeling, all that I've been harboring, And I wanted to talk about serious topics that I don't feel like a lot of people talk about, depression, anxiety, even suicidal thoughts, because sometimes I feel like in Black communities, there are things that we don't have conversations about. We're taught to have 10 toes down, your head up high, look forward, don't look back, to make it seem as though you can't soak into your emotions or figure out what your emotions are and sit there and have a conversation about it. It's more so like, it is what it is. Life is what it is, and you just got to keep going, which is so toxic to me. But these things, I don't think that we were taught to either have a conversation in the average Black household about these things. And I wanted to have this conversation with a whole bunch of people that I know that were kind of experiencing the same thing. And even if you weren't experiencing the same thing as me, somebody who has been experiencing the same thing that I've experienced before. So that was just the reasoning of why I started it in the first place. And with that being said, I definitely can see now how I kind of gotten away from what my show was originally supposed to be like. I'm thankful for it all. I'm thankful for the guests that has came on, the people that I've met, the drinking, the sipping Saturdays, all those things. However, it kind of gotten away from the vision that I originally wanted my show to be like. I feel like now people probably assume that my show is now like a drinking show. Like, oh, let's come on her show because, she's going to get you drunk and y'all going to turn up. Like, no, that is not at all what this show is supposed to be like. And I'm so sorry that it has gotten that way. So that is why one of the reasons why this show is coming to a close and a new chapter is opening. I want people to actually come onto this show and, like I said, express their feelings, express their experiences, communicate their experiences, so we can actually have a dialogue, so we can connect to a whole bunch of different people, a community of people that we didn't touch before. So with that being said, moving forward, there will be no more drinking on my show. I don't drink anymore, so I want to save some things for like the upcoming season of my podcast. But yes, I don't drink anymore. So it's going to be a total shift, the atmosphere of what the show is going to be like. It's no longer going to be a turn up show. It's actually going to have to be a dialogue. So you're going to have to come on here and actually talk and actually express yourself. I still want to interview people who has things going on, entrepreneurs, people of color that has people, things going on, not limited to people of color, but that's the majority of who I was interviewing before. But yes, it's still going to be as if it was before, but now it's just, like I said, it's a whole different dynamic, a whole different atmosphere than what you guys were used to before. So yeah, with that being said, so like I said, we're closing the Sip and Spill chapter. So it's no longer even going to be called Sip and Spill because, like I said, we're not going to be drinking anymore. We're not going to be putting out high liquor, whatever the case may be. Now the show is going to be called Pretty Perfect Not. And that name in itself, it has a lot of meaning to me. I feel as though, I don't want to say all my life, but maybe in my later years, I have tried to come off as perfect, try to put out this persona as if I'm perfect, which I feel like a lot of people do. I'm realizing that. And I'm not perfect in no way, shape, or form. And I am never going to be perfect ever in my life. And nobody in this world is ever going to be perfect. And with that being said, that comes with making mistakes. There comes with lessons in life that I need to learn so that I can help and grow and become just a totally different person than what I am now. So, I'm not perfect at all. And I want people to gravitate towards that, me not being perfect and you not being perfect. And then we can come and sit and talk about our experiences together. So that's all that I want this new show to become. I hope people stay and I hope people listen and I hope people actually grasp what it is that I want to talk about. And I don't know, I just feel in my spirit I'm going to help a whole bunch of people about what I have to say, because I didn't even scratch the surface, didn't even get to the tip of the iceberg with Sip and Spill of what I actually wanted to talk about. So now I feel like, oh my gosh, this is going to touch a lot of people. We're going to have a lot of uncomfortable conversations on the show, but I think it's going to be a lot of uncomfortable conversations that need to be had, things that need to be said. Yeah, so I'm just excited, and I hope that you will travel on to this journey with me, this new journey, while I close out the old chapter and open a whole new one, a new birth, that I'm giving birth to a whole new baby. So I hope that you are ready to experience that with me, and you come on this ride and you come on this journey with me. And don't forget about me either. Pretty perfect knots. See you next time. I hope that was good. I don't know. I kind of went with the flow.